Yes, we're back. Last night in the Cooten before Christmas. Old faithful Derek Ferguson, a new one. First time on, mate. Scotty McDonald.
Yeah, first timer. I don't know if I can live up to expectations though with Macca not being here. I don't think I've got as many stories as him for the weekend.
That's what I was going to say,
anyway.
mate. Off camera, we need a couple of stories off you from me and Derek. That's what Frank usually does. But head tennis champion, Derek. Open goal head tennis champion, Scotty McDonald.
Well, he should be playing still, I think. I don't know what Scotty thinks about that. He took part in show racism, a red card.
How was he?
He was different class. Although I had a wee go at him at half time,
He
and he wasn't too happy by it.
He's not telling you about the sitter I missed as well.
Did you, mate? Was he giving you a bit?
Open goal. There you go.
Great plug, mate. Did you give Paul Slane give you his trainers back? Did you get them back off him?
No, thankfully not. He kept them. I let him keep them. I felt sorry for him.
He's
I don't know where. $1,000.
$1,000, mate.
What he said? 1,000 lira.
He's asked for your address, mate, so expect him at your
I've
door.
already heard he's been haunting Jig anyway outside.
He loves Big Jig. He says Big Jig was the most beautiful man he's ever met. Would you go with that?
That's quite worrying, that. So it is.
Something about his calves, was it?
His calves.
Yeah.
Beautiful calves.
Beautiful calves, mate.
Strange boy, that, isn't he?
Right, Christmas up in Aberdeen.
Yes.
Yet?
Yeah, well,
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I was up the other night. I watched the game against Dundee. Started the game really well on the front foot. You just can see they're getting a bit of confidence. Certainly the young boy McLennan that's come in, wide and the right. Great delivery. But that's just what they need, a wee bit of more consistency, and you can just see the confidence starting to kind of build. Stevie May didn't get his goal, but what I found sitting in with the Aberdeen supporters, really backing him, because you can see a guy giving 100%. But I've said before, I like the big boy Cosgrove. He puts himself about. Couple of goals, I'm not do him any harm whatsoever.
We'll come back to Aberdeen in a minute, but last shout out for the Ferguson family. Carol's cakes that you brought in today. Carol, magnificent. Come in, preferably when Frank's not here. So I wouldn't trust him around her, do you know what I mean?
I don't try. She's definitely not coming in when Mark is here. That's for sure.
Right, on to the football. Festive fixtures, obviously busy build-up at Christmas. As a player, did you used to enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. Games come thick and fast. You ask any player, they want to play games. And over the festive period, I think it's a real time when, especially for me, I had a lot of family always come from Australia and whatnot. So it was always a great occasion to actually have them at the games. So I was always looking forward to them.
I used to hate them because obviously I was a scuddy and I had to clean your boots every second. What about you, Derek? What about you, Derek? Did you used to enjoy that period?
Absolutely, because you were in the training a lot. It was just games. They were thick and fast. But for me, it was always about in my day, it was the New Year's game. It was always played in the first against Celtic. So that was, although it was a busy period, that was the one in the horizon that you always had a wee eye on. So that's a great time, because you will get a break after it. Well, obviously the boys in this day and age get that break. But the managers that I worked under, you got a wee breather getting into January. But it's a great time of year to play.
Would you still go mad with the food and the drink now?
Aye.
You could. It's because you could. Because there's that many games, you could probably enjoy it. Obviously, Christmas Day was one that a lot of boys sort of were a bit paranoid about eating too much, and I can see why. There was many occasions actually you would turn up for. Obviously, it was rubbish training on Christmas Day, wasn't it?
You didn't do much.
I know, you just turned up, shook each other's hands, did a little keep ball or whatever, and then you're off again.
Bit of Toro, We used to just head straight for Panama Jacks. And the Ibrox, me and Major Auntie. Okay, no bother, just crack on.
Brilliant. There it is, mate. Right, Hibs v Rangers, review of the game. Rangers a better team for you, Derek?
Absolutely. I think Hibs started pretty well, got a possession of the ball without kind of really hurting Rangers. I think tactically Rangers had got it spot on because they soaked up a little bit of pressure, then started to hit in the break, and if you look at overall the whole 90 minutes, the chances that I had, I thought Morelos, although he didn't get on the score sheet, I thought he was excellent because he made 2 or 3 chances himself. Yeah. I think maybe one of them, he lashed at one of them, a wee bit more composure, but he's a strong wee fella, isn't he? And he gave Big Ambrose an absolute hell of a time.
That was my next question. They're a different team when Morelos playing.
Absolutely, you can see that. It's for everyone to see, isn't it? With him in the side, it gives you that hold-up play. He runs in the channels. He's a nuisance all the game. The one criticism I still have is probably, I'm being harsh, but he probably misses too many chances. He's probably improved from last year in terms of his goal return, goals to games. It's been unbelievable, but you would still like to see him buried, maybe one or two of them last night, and killed that game for them and give them 3 points. And there's no question, I think it's on a lot of clubs' lists. Christmas list is another striker. You could go through probably about 8 teams in the Premiership who would love a new striker, and Rangers are certainly one of them as well.
See the chances, I think he made about 3 of them.
Himself,
And I heard a certain Mr McCoist, top man, but I heard Coyce saying that he always said to a manager he needed 3 chances to score 1 goal. I disagree with that, Coisty. I thought he gets
4 chances in there.
I'd say 5.
Again, there's no question though for Rangers as well. They're lacking in a little bit of creativity. Look, they're missing Dorrans. Murphy's a huge loss as well. He's a ball carrier. He takes you up the pitch. So maybe that's somewhere as well. Ejaria's gone back for, obviously, it's a mixed sort of feel, and Rangers supporters what they felt about him. But at times, especially when he first came in, he looked decent. He looked like he was going to get in the box, score goals, and create a bit. But that's maybe something where Steven Gerrard needs to look as well.
Here's a question for you: who's better at using the big old arse, Morelos or Scott McDonald?
It's got to be me. I've had many more years of using it, but it's got smaller. I've actually lost weight.
I like you're looking good.
He did knock back a cake, which I could not believe.
Yes, yeah.
I'm just going on a wee bit of Twitter that I seen last night. A bit of criticism for Grezda. Would you go along with that? Maybe not doing enough. Some Rangers
What was the
fans have said.
criticism?
No creating enough chances.
Yeah, he's certainly got plenty of pace. I didn't realise that he cost a couple of million quid. But, when you're playing the Rangers side, when you play, further up the park, you've got to produce. And it's that killer ball, that final ball. I was speaking about McClellan earlier. He's done that. He's only a young boy, come into Aberdeen side. He's got that final ball. So you've got to pick your moments, and that's what kind of define you as a player. So you could say a little bit disappointing at times, and maybe fans are right to criticise him a tad, but they've got to be getting themselves on that score sheet to give you that wee bit of confidence.
Whenever you don't win a game, there's always going to be criticisms, isn't there? Especially now that we've got the beautiful world of social media.
And see, when you're saying, Scott, about the players that Rangers are missing, I think every club has had that. Certainly in the top 4. I'm looking at Aberdeen. You look at Celtic as well. Even like Christie, he's a big miss. So you've got to deal with that. So are Rangers going to maybe strengthen getting into New Year?
I think they need to.
I think they need.
Most definitely.
Here's one for you. Porteous' tackle. Did you see it?
I've not seen that yet.
Absolutely bloated him. Was it a red card?
I think he was very lucky he never got carded in the first half with a tackle on, because this is where it gets a wee bit confusing for me. I watch certain other games and referees, it's a yellow card right away, and he doesn't even get booked. He's a young player. Yep, he's a good player, but he's got to curtail that, because he can cost your side, So, and I see him enjoys that, the physicality, but. He could have cost his side, and the second one, it's a straight red card. I think the first one would have been a yellow, the second one, it's a straight red. It's a no-brainer. The referee, Craig Thompson, he's only 4 or 5 yards away. So that's why we get a wee bit irritated with the referees, because they're so inconsistent.
Could they be irrespective on that then?
Yeah, I don't know what irrespective means, you need to tell me.
No, well, we're getting the no from over there. Okay.
But Young, you were a fiery player as well. You think Lenny will need to take him aside and maybe calm him down a bit?
I think he more or less said in his after-match interviews that was something he has to curtail. And he's a very lucky boy that he stayed on the pitch, or else he would have had the wrath of his manager at the end of the game. So I think there will be words said, but you don't want to take that aggression out of a player either. That gives you what you are and that certain edge, but you just have to be a little bit cuter in how you do things.
Right, okay. Celtic versus Motherwell. Celtic back on form, winning 3-0. No surprise there really at home?
No, I was at the game.
Yeah.
And it was one of those games, typical, where you get at Celtic Park or at Ibrox. It's just a matter of time.
Once they get their noses in front, Celtic.
Precisely. As soon as they get a goal ahead, and then they got the next one 4 minutes later, it was more or less game over from there. A very slow start. The worrying thing for Celtic is obviously Edouard come off around about 30 minutes in.
We've heard today they're in for the Roma striker Sadiq.
The big waiter, as Mackie would say.
That's what I was going to ask you as well, Scotty. How worrying is it if it is a serious injury to Edward? Because basically no one to play with me.
Well, it is worrying, especially with these. I mean, I think, we'll talk about Dundee later, but with the big 2 games after that coming up, if they haven't got, that centre forward, because Edouard was pivotal in the first 2 goals that they scored last night.
Right.
We held the ball up, which is something that you're looking for a little bit more from him. Held it up, laid it off, and then Tony Ralston was able to get in behind down the right hand side. And then for the second one, it was a long punt from deep. Celtic were under pressure, held it up lovely, flicked it on. Sinclair then played in James Forrest, and that's what you're looking for. So if he's not playing and he can't do that, then if you're going to be asking Mikey Johnson to do that or Lewis Morgan in these big games against physical backlines, I think it's going to be very, very difficult, especially away from home, to try and play that type of game. So they'll be desperate for him to get back.
2 terrific young players, but they've not got that physicality. And I think it's nice if you have got that in your team at times. That out ball, and that's what. Even though Morelos isn't a big 6 foot plus, he's a strong, he's a wee unit. So he is. So you need that on your side. So Edward could be a miss.
So what would be your call for a centre forward if he's out for Celtic? Sinclair going up there or Forrest?
Well, he doesn't fancy Sinclair in there. Like, he's had opportunities to do that, but even against Hibs, you've seen on the weekend for Celtic that he decided to play Forrest through the middle rather than Sinclair, which I thought was kind of strange because the form that James is in and the outlet that he is out in the wide areas. I would have probably put Sinclair in there because he's done it for Aston Villa. He done it when he first came to the club. But he seems to just want to play him on that wide left. So I think if he's looking at it, I think Johnson come on and scored a spectacular goal though.
Looks a good prospect, Johnson.
Really does. But it's just in those big occasions, especially when you go to Pittodrie and Ibrox, you really want your big game players there and someone who's going to lead the line for you correctly and has experience in doing it. You go with someone that's inexperienced who likes to play as a floater, more or less. It's a false 10 you're going to play. And that's why I think Tom Rogic is pivotal. If they have to play with that Tom's in the team and he can link the game up and just get either Morgan or Johnson running instead of coming towards the
behind. Dundee this weekend, is this the perfect game if Edward is going to be winners? Because Dundee look powder puff just now, 5-1 against Aberdeen. Is this the game that Celtic would want without their centre forward?
Yeah, but I mean, you look at Dundee the other night, they were decent in possession at times.
Well, right.
But you've just said it, powder puff, they offered very little up front. Calvin Miller gets his goal, but that was probably one of a couple of chances that had. I think it's still a worry for Celtic. You can see, you fancy them against Dundee, obviously, they will create. But that centre forward, obviously, with Griffiths having his issues, Edward, that's a problem. I don't know too much about the 20s, what they've got. Sometimes you've got to think outside the box.
Well, you've got Aitchison, but I don't think he went to Dumbarton. He's had a difficult period, I think, and they're just trying to build him back up, build his confidence up. But I don't think he's actually probably ready to step in.
On the wee boy Mikey Johnson, he's going to be top drawer, by the way. So,
and what about Morgan? What about Lewis Morgan? You can see him getting a chance now?
I like Lewis Morgan.
Do you don't think they're all very similar? But you've got Forrest, you've got Johnson.
Tanner Bob players, isn't
you've got Morgan. They're all terrific, but I just think at times you need something a little bit different, and that's where Edward, that's what he offers you.
Absolutely, but I think Morgan's been unfortunate as well in terms of at the start of the season, I think he was really in with a chance of actually playing. I think Brendan Rodgers really likes him, really believes in him, but in terms of because he got the injury, it's sort of curtailed him. He's sort of in the outers at the minute. He's going to have to try and be patient and wait for that moment. And you see Mikey Johnson getting on last night. It looks like he'll probably bump ahead of him now as well.
Great to get some young Scottish boys coming through. Aberdeen versus Hearts. Is this the last fixture Hearts want after that doing at Livingston? Yeah,
it's a difficult one, especially Aberdeen coming off the back of a huge victory. They're in great position now. If they win this game going into the Celtic game, it puts them in a fantastic position to go and catch people. I don't know. I think it's one of them. They would love to have been at Tynecastle, but it's a great way to come back after that disappointing game. I was at the Livingston game as well, and Livingston were excellent. Hearts were in the game. First half they hit the post as well. But they just capitulated, and you could obviously see by Craig Levine's response at the end of the game, he certainly wasn't happy.
Those glasses were steamed up, weren't they? No wonder with that defending. To see some of the defending for some of the goals, didn't it?
Aye. They were poor, and he was absolutely right in what he says. Maybe he should have chose maybe the word better. He said chuck it, but They down tools, which was a real worry. They missed Naismith. Naismith's that leader on the park. He gets them at it, you know.
He wouldn't accept that on the pitch.
No, a bit like Scott, you know, if things are not going right. He's no slow to voice his opinion, and you need that type. It's the same way, up until that Aberdeen game, Kenny Miller, he's the same type. You need the players, Celtic, Scott Brown, Rangers, that's been a bit of criticism for me with Rangers. You need that leader. You could say like Ryan Jack the other night, you know, was at it. But you need that type. Naismith needs to get back into that heart side.
Yeah, they're missing Nick Piazza as well. Huge miss, but a big foil.
Big outball,
He's been the biggest nuisance centre-halves up here. They've not known what's hit them. They've got this new striker, forgive me, I don't know his name, he's coming in at January as well.
Is it Claire?
No, Claire's come in already. There's another big foreign striker coming in.
Right.
They signed him on a pre-contract, so he's meant to be about 6'4", 6'5" as well. So good Craig Levine type. So if they can get him in early, hit the ground running, then I'm sure they'll be back to what they were at that start of the season.
But poor defending, but Livy were brilliant.
Absolutely.
Livingston are a good side to go and watch as well.
It's really impressed me, like unbelievably, and I know the boys will get applauded. Pittman's been outrageous.
Good.
Bum, Jacobs, the three of them in there. You know, the way they go about their work, the shutdown, but they've got quality on the ball.
Well, they do.
Well.
I mean, we've sort of tagged them. Well, there's a lot of people tagged them as unfashionable.
I think they've been a bit unfair to them.
Yeah, especially now. With the surface that they've got there, that they actually do try and play through teams as well as when it's on though to be direct. What they are very clever is that they will go direct, but when they go direct, they've got so many bodies around the ball for that second ball.
They win
and then they play from there.
And then they play from there.
And Gary Holt's got the most impressive wins or not in the league. Have you seen his
big,
prize?
isn't it?
Oh mate, it's perfect. And by the way, see if you're not doing it on here, Scotty, feel free to get us going. He's saying you're that player. Just have a go at us, mate, if we're not doing it, alright. Craig Levine cancelled the Hearts Christmas do.
Was it him? I thought it was better. Go at the players together. I don't know.
I thought it was Levine. You got inside info?
No, I thought, I just listening from the outside looking in, I thought it was the players. I wouldn't fancy going in a 2 or 3 day jolly after you've been done for
had a decent season too, so...
After a few drinks, the daggers come out, don't they? Boys start giving it to each other.
What were you doing for that third goal?
Maybe that's what they need, but I don't think it was the right thing. They going away for maybe 1 or 2 days away abroad. Nah, it's you need to get back down and work hard, and because that's the worry for me with Aberdeen, because obviously
they're drunk all the time.
they're going to buck for it, Naismith looks as if he's back, going to be back, but no, I think they're absolutely right to cancel it.
Scotty, what would your reaction be if the Christmas do got cancelled the day before you're meant to go?
Depends on.
You've paid a few
Depends
quid for
on how old. Now, I wouldn't be so bothered. But obviously, back in the day, if you're in your mid-20s, you'd be absolutely, especially the money you've spent as well. You're not going to get reimbursed that, are they?
No, I'd be raging anyway. But that's why I'm a loser and using it. All of a sudden, Aberdeen found themselves in 4th, 3 games on a win, 3 games on the bounce. Wins. Again, what a job Derek McInnes does every year.
Slowly but surely, they've just kind of started to climb the table, and the job that Derek does is phenomenal. Everybody knows. I've got a wee bit of insight yet in terms of the way he goes about his job. His man management, and I'm obviously speaking about Lewis, is second to none. I've said this before, when Lewis goes out onto that park, he feels $1 million. And that's because I've asked him, I says, what does he say? And he says, he comes as a wee quiet chat with you. But also you've got guys...
Pulls you, doesn't he?
But you've got Barry Robson there. You've got obviously Doc, you've got the boys.
He doesn't want to listen to Barry.
Listen, do you know, because he's a head case into it at times, but he's a great lad, so he is, and he's one of the ones that will spend time with the boys and have a giggle. But that's it. When you go onto that park, if you feel $1 million, you feel good about yourself, you're halfway there.
All joking aside, actually, Barry is probably a very good person for him to speak to, because he's
similar
attributes in terms of that aggressiveness, on the front foot, looking to get goals. Barry was very similar type.
And a winner as well, wasn't he? He was a winner.
Yeah. All elbows.
So what do you put the change down to then? Because you watched Aberdeen a lot. Why are they now winning games whereas before they weren't? Goals, yeah.
And that's, I think, he had a quiet word with the forwards, saying that, they've been misfiring a little bit. Yeah, I feel a wee bit for May, you know, but because he's given it everything. But I think he's not been critical of them. He's not went into the papers. No,
he never does that though.
I think that's very important.
Players.
And if there is going to be anything said, it's in that dressing room, within the four walls, which I think is really important. Yeah. I think basically the players respect him. Yeah. That's it, big time. If you've got the respect of the players, that's a hell of a thing to have.
Brilliant. Right, on to Cooten. Scotty, you're going to go first, mate, because I don't know if you watch it, but these are actually hopeless.
Have they done any? Have you won any?
No, a brick wall.
Do I have to give you correct scores here?
No.
Just a winner.
Right. If you want, you can go. Put a bit of pressure.
Give me a win. Make it hard.
Right, you're going Celtic Dundee.
Home win. Even I've picked the easy one first, haven't I? I think obviously Dundee. You know, Jim McIntyre had that period at the start, which was really hellish for him. He got them back in and worked really hard with them. Defensive shape was good, but just the last two games, it's creeping back in. The silly mistakes have started to happen again. They'll go to Celtic Park, they'll box in, a little bit like what Motherwell did last night, make it difficult. But I fancy Celtic, even without a striker, to obviously keep on course for the next two big games and get a decent win.
And also for every game you need to predict the attendance as well. So.
It was really surprising yesterday, actually. I'm being serious as well, he's joking.
He said
the crowd wasn't great last night.
No.
I was surprised at that, you know. Right. But hopefully we'll be more there on Saturday.
I'm sure there will. Hibs versus Livy.
Hibs, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
Obviously Hibs have off the back of two huge games, huge results. Can they go back to the well and you know, beat a Livingston side who absolutely, you know, run amok with Hearts. I'm delaying here because I'm still trying to. This is a real tough one. I picked it, but I'm not sure.
Let's go with a draw then.
No, I think Hibs will get over the line. I think they've turned the corner here. Mm-hmm. You know, Livingston's form away from home is not as good. Home form's unbelievable, and that's where they've got majority of their points. So. No, I fancy Hibs to just get over the line. Okay,
Motherwell versus St Mirren, your old team.
Yeah, Motherwell have been a hard team to predict this year. St Mirren, not been great, as we all know. Looking like stick-ons to go down for me. And I think Motherwell will put the sword to them on the weekend and get a 2-0 victory.
If St Mirren do beat Motherwell, will Motherwell be in a relegation fit?
No, they'll be stretched because obviously Dundee as well. You would expect them to lose. Hamilton are playing Kilmarnock, so I think it's between three.
Okay.
Yeah, after Motherwell get that win against St Johnstone, I think that's just got them at that point now where they can sort of look above.
And finally, St Johnstone versus Rangers.
Big game for Rangers, this one, leading up to two massive games like we said, Boxing Day and the 29th. Not scoring goals, big problem for them, especially away from home. St Johnstone, though, had a disappointing one against Motherwell. I fancy Rangers to go there and do a number on them now. I think they'll get back to it. They'll take a lot of positives from the Hibs game and get a victory. I think that Cooten's going to come up. I do. I think that'll come up. Right, here's one that definitely want to come up. Aberdeen versus Hearts.
Right, I was thinking I was going to go for a draw because certainly Hearts, there'll be a reaction from that 5-0 in Drubbin. But I just think Aberdeen at home, that confidence, big Cosgrove, that physicality, I think they'll just go on the edge at Aberdeen. Okay, Aberdeen win. Hamilton versus Killie. I'll be at that game. I agree with Scott. I think Hamilton might be dragged into a relegation battle. I just think Kilmarnock are just going to be a little bit too strong for them. Okay, so you're going Killie win, yeah? Killie win. Motherwell versus St Mirren? I'm going to go with Motherwell. St Mirren, obviously down the bottom, you can see them giving it everything, but I just think at the end of the day it's about quality. I think Motherwell will get better quality all over the park. Mm-hmm. Okay, Motherwell. So Motherwell win. And finally, St Johnstone versus Rangers? It's a toughie for Rangers. They've picked up a couple of injuries, but I still think they'll be good enough to edge Tommy Wright's side. So I'm going to go with an away win for the Gers. Perfect. Carol, get the kettle and we're coming. Thanks very much, lads. Cheers. Cheers.